Alright, what's going on, chat? Hope everyone's doing well. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Why can't I see my chat? Oh, there we go. There we go. Should be good. I hope everyone's doing well. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Let's swap this over. Oh. Just gotta do this real quick. There we go. Also, let's throw this on. I was filming something earlier. How's it going, chat? I hope everyone's doing well. What do you call it? We're going to be working on our Turkish army for K-47, which I think it's going to end up being a custom faction altogether. Essentially, where we're going to try and come up with our own rules for it. But we can also use it as an Axis army as well. But I hope everyone's doing well. What do you call it? I got about 2.5 hours of sleep last night because I went fishing at I left the house at 5 a.m. and hopped on my buddy's boat at 5:30. So we went fishing for striped bass. Unfortunately, didn't get anything. We were fly fishing. But yeah, I barely slept. But I've been working on the new battle report that's going to be coming out in a couple days because I've been working on a new fly fishing video for my main channel or my other channel, and that'll be coming out soon. But yeah, we have a Konflikt, the U.S. versus Axis battle report that's going to be done here soon. But in the meanwhile, I've been tinkering around and finally getting some more 3D printing done. And we got some more of our Turkish army for K-47. Turkish/Ottoman inspired. Essentially, if what would happen in World War II in Konflikt's universe at least, where the Axis take over Turkey and seize control of it, and are there Turkish soldiers that are going to be loyal to the Axis, or what do you call it? Are they going to be rebelling? So I like the idea of them rebelling, but we have some cool new stuff here. This is what we figured out last week. So these are, I kit bashed 30 essentially Italian black shirts, and then printed some Ottoman style heads for them. This one I was just trying out a little paint scheme here to see with the red. But so we have these guys, and this is just, we did a little brown for the boots. I still have to paint the guns and stuff. Very simple. But we were not necessarily happy with the color. We wanted it to be more yellow. So we did end up getting something for that we're going to take a look at later. And then we have essentially one of our unique units for the army, if we are going to do a custom army. And these are Janissaries, or Janissaries. So they're armored. I don't know. I was like, well, are they going to be like shock trooper type dudes? Are they going to be like Schwertruppen type dudes? I still haven't figured out. But I like the idea of them having, first off, they have shotguns. They have blunderbuss shotguns, but it's like a real shotgun. So I think the whole idea is this army is going to have special ammunition, like an alchemist ammunition. So we haven't figured out what essentially the mechanics will be, but all of their weapons, they're shooting special ammunition. But so we went for the kind of classic red and the white color for the Janissaries, and they have their for the armor and all the color scheme that I've chosen for the army, looking at World War II era Turkish troops, is like a beige color, but a little bit more yellow. So to deal with that, I ended up finally getting some sepia. Now this is not a wash, this is an ink, but I think we can make a wash out of this. I do have what's that stuff called? The medium, matte medium and stuff. But I think we could also just water this down. But I'm gonna have to experiment with the sepia ink. And I was looking. There's the Army Painter. There was the Vallejo one. There was the Seraphim sepia from GW, but I ended up deciding, looking around, going with the Vallejo Game Color ink. They have a wash as well, but so we'll see. I don't know. This hopefully is a little magic in the bottle that'll help give us that little tint or tinge to the color. Now we got some new stuff here. So first off, I printed the rest of the Janissaries with shotguns. And this time I actually remembered to do the basing. So by the way, I've been recording all this stuff. I haven't been recording everything, but at least putting together one of each of the minis and little side footage here and there, because I'm going to be making a video about making this army. But, so we got more shotgun and like melee or pistol Janissaries, more close combat sort of guys. So I don't know, we're kind of in the early stages, more so just like, let me think what's cool and that I want. Some cool custom unique stuff, and then we'll come up with the rules later on, you know. Now, this is the really cool thing. One thing I haven't seen in Konflikt yet, and somebody may have done it, especially with like Cossack units or something, but I've never seen dudes on horses. And the Ottomans and the Turks are very well known for horseback riding, dating all the way back to like Genghis Khan times, you know. There were Turkic people riding horses. So we have some K-47. These are the Advanced Specialist Cavalry, which this has got to go underneath it, but I just have it there for now. And these are the like Janissary Cavalry Unit or something, but they're not Janissaries. We actually have a name. I asked my dad to do some research in terms of actual names. So this is the name of a old Turkish or Ottoman cavalry unit. Let's see, what's the name of it? Serden Gessi or something like that. And essentially they're like ultra committed to cavalry charges. There was also the Delier or something like that, which translates to like the crazies, he said. But I like this right here, the Serendesis or something. I don't know. I have to ask him how to pronounce it. I'm definitely butchering it. But they're like ultra committed to the charge and fighting to like the death, essentially. So they got their lances on here, and these are, you know, they got perfect little coils on there for us to paint some really cool riff color. So they're essentially the idea behind it is they're stealing, if they are resistance Turkish soldiers and they're trying to become an independent Turkey from the Axis, then what they're doing is they're stealing whatever they can from the Axis by like trying to win battles and take what they can. And they're probably using their own sort of homemade riff stuff. So they're not going to have crazy giant Schwerfield cannons and Maschenspheres and Teslas. But what I like the idea is them utilizing Rift for, you know, like small arms sort of stuff with their alchemist ammunition and their special melee and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm excited to have actual cavalry units. Now, I looked it up. When it comes to cavalry, I think they move 9 and 18 inches. You have to have models that are on foot and on horse. So because they have to dismount. So I don't know. We might need to like modify it, or we'll just play it with the cavalry rules. But I like the idea of them having an ability where, like, if they charge in with their lances, their riff lances, that they do maybe extra damage or something, or extra hits. I don't know. We have to figure it out. we don't want to make it too like, we have to keep it in the Konflikt flavor. You know what I mean? We can't make it too OP, but first off, I love the dude's gas masks right here. The gas mask looks sick. So I think I'm going to dry brush these guys like a silver color. Because I was looking up, this is like based off of real Ottoman horse armor, where they essentially, or horse bard or whatever, they covered the horse in like completely in armor, like mail, some sort of metal mail or something like that. And I'm sure it was not fun for the horses, but they were like completely armored other than their legs, which is pretty crazy. So I think they went off that, but this is kind of more like, instead of it being just regular metal armor, I kind of want to somehow figure out how to make it look like rift armor on the horse. You know what I mean? Maybe have some like, I don't know, some glow effect to it. But there's all these little individual armor plates. So imagine if I had to go and do the rift effect on each one. It might be like, I don't know, I figured it out. The whole idea is also, I made sure to do this, so that way I can paint them much easier. Because I think these guys might get dry brush. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do. And they also got their special rift shotguns as well. See if we can get this guy to zoom in. There we go. I love the... I wish I printed more of these heads and put them all over. But, I mean, this is like a traditional Janissary type thing. So, it kind of does... It is nice to have some differentiation. And what else? I mean, that's pretty much it. We got the horses. The other thing I wanted to show you guys real quick. Give me 1 sec. Oh, let me get some music on. There we go. My mini factory is what I wanted to look at. And Ottomans. There we go. Oh, hold on. Damn it, I unplugged the wrong one. I mean, on my mixer, I turned the volume off to the wrong PC. It was this one that was making all the dumb noises. Classic Elgato. These guys right here. I have to unplug my Elgato capture card. I don't know why, because I'm using 2 PCs. Probably because it's just like 8 years old, because I've been streaming for so long. These guys right here. Sheesh. So, there's something called dervishes. And dervishes are like they're like practice Islam in a particular way or sect or something. Don't even ask me. And I'm a Mevlana dervish as well, but what do you call it? There's a it's almost like art, but they're essentially doing like a prayer, but it's the whirling dervishes, where there's these guys and they spin around while doing like zikir and stuff. We haven't done that, obviously, but we've done zikir before, where it's like la ilaha illallah, and you're like all in you're doing, so it's so cool. It's like some shit back from like the 1400s or something. Or like, you know what I mean? You just need some war drums, like doom, 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 some cool beats or something in the background. But the whirling dervishes are badass, and they're essentially just dudes like with cool ass clothes, and they're just like spinning around. But so from Trench Crusade, it looks like, or I shouldn't say Trench Crusade, because this might not actually be under Trench Crusade's what do you call it, public copyright thing that they set up for everybody. So this is a Ottoman dervish assassin or something. Nothing to do with Trench Crusade probably, but anyways, these look perfect. They got gas masks. They look like they have the perfect garb, which is like the whirling dervishes have this this like essentially this section that comes off of their like outfit, and it like as they spin, it's like it like opens up. So these guys look sick. And they look modern enough because it's kind of, for the Trench Crusade thing, they kind of do have assault rifles and grenades and this and that. So that's the one thing I was having a hard time with, struggling with. Are these guys like K-47 enough? They almost look like they're like, 1800s or 1600s, but they're from War Games Atlantic, so they are technically future. They have this like futuristic backpack, and they have pump shotguns. They just kind of look old timey. So, I think in what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add on the armor. I'm gonna do like a tiger stripe armor, and I think that's really gonna help kind of tie it together in reality. But I think the horse guys look a little bit more futuristic, at least, especially with that like cool helmet that they have. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with, like, if you look at the Legion or whatever, the Italian Stall Trooping equivalent, those guys kind of look like based off of classic Roman stuff. So I guess there's nothing wrong with it. But I didn't want it to look like 1600s. You know what I mean? Ottomans, or I wanted it to stand out enough. But that being said, I think these guys look sick. And the idea for this, and I realize I'm talking to myself right now in chat because people are just lurking and hanging out. I appreciate everyone hanging out, by the way. But this is a VOD anyway. I want this to be like a journey of me discussing this. What do you call it? These guys are going to be like a ghost attack squad, but for melee. And what about if they teleport into melee? Also, you can tell I've only slept for 2.5 hours. I've been up for a very long time. You can tell I look like I'm dying. But what if they had really cool teleportability? But what if it's if you do that, or you teleport in a certain way, instead of it's like, oh, you could do, it's also, okay, I can barely talk. You teleport into melee, you take a certain amount of damage. Because it's like you're teleporting, you don't know where you're going to end up. You might end up in a wall or a dude or something, you know what I mean? Or we can have some sort of cool rule where it's like, that's pretty strong to do something like that. And you could probably only teleport within a certain distance. Because they're not like, they're utilizing their whirling dervish technique to like spin around and like, manipulate time and space through their like zikir prayer. But they're not like entering a rift hole and popping out on the other side of the map, if that makes sense. So it's probably going to be shorter range teleporting, if you will. That's the idea, at least. So I think they look pretty sick. Yo, Frosty, what's up, dude? So yeah, what do you call it? I think they're cool. I like them. And I mean, I was trying to figure out, like, it's at some point here we're going to have to start thinking about, probably on a Saturday night, ninjas? No. Ottoman or Turkish assassins. These are technically Ottoman assassins, but I think they'd fit well. Yeah. Or Hashassins. Because that's where the word... So if you guys didn't know this, it's really cool because I learned about this in a book about cannabis. Because back in high school, I was so passionate about, like, legalizing everything, Thankfully, we got there here in this state. But it's very cool, interesting learning about the history. I think the first recorded history of a person interacting with that plant is a Sufi, a Muslim, like Sufi traveler or something, or a sheikh or somebody who like put it on a fire or something, and they were like, "Whoa, this is something." Anyways, the word assassin comes from like Persian or Middle Eastern assassins. I forgot where. It might have been like somewhere in Persia, or maybe even predates like Persia or something. And this is perfect, the AoE 2 music for this. But essentially, these assassins, and it could have been Ottoman, I forget where it was, where it originated, but in that area of the world. And what they would do is they would consume hash before going out and trying to essentially assassinate like a noble or somebody. And the idea is that the hash helped in terms of like, at least this is what it helped them with their focus, and it helped them especially with like pain. If they got like stabbed, or they had to jump and do something and ignore, But so that's where the word, it was actually, the word assassin, the U.S. Or the English word assassin comes from like in Arabic or some sort of word, hashassin, which is hash assassin or something. So anyways, a little history. I learned about that in a book one day, and I was like, yo, assassins are badass. Okay? Scoot. Yo, rip it, cuz. Alright. Anyways, these guys look cool. So I'm excited to teleport into combat with Rev's Ghost Squad. And then he goes on his turn to try and teleport, and he fails his order test, and they die. Anyways, I don't know if they're going to teleport into combat. I'm just saying, we got to do something cool, because they're whirling dervishes. Short distance. Yo, what's going on, Derelict? How's it going, man? I was able to assemble and prime 5 Fireflies today, and my Stuart with Tesla, and then my themed list will be complete. Aptly called the Hellblasters. Ooh, nice. Once they are painted, taking a quick break. Oh, you mean from like painting and stuff? Yeah. Or miniature stuff? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Are they in the Discord? Let's take a look. I think we saw a little bit, right? We saw this right here, the Firefly. Which I love how I didn't even see your comment, and you're like, I made a Firefly forward observer, and I was like, yeah, I'm not a fan of the observers. Really what it is, and Ed Scar made a great video on it. Like an artillery observer, I don't know about a Firefly one, but or like a regular one. Rev's used them before, and it's like 100 points. And you have to call the thing, and it says where it's going to come in. So I can just move, is what I did. And then, okay, cool, you can try and move it or whatever. And it's like, there's so many random steps. There's like 3 random dice rolls or something that you need to get taken to effect of whether or not you can actually, like, do damage. And I think that one time he did it, I think he ended up it was in a battle report. He ended up either hitting one of his own units. I think it randomly went somewhere and hit his own unit or something. And one thing I know from, I don't know if this is like in Konflikt, but I'm assuming, but the air forward observers, I know aren't necessarily good in competitive bolt action play because everything has flak that's a machine gun. So any machine gun or autocannon can attempt to shoot down the plane as it's coming in. So there's like so many random things. You got to roll and see what type of plane it is that's going to hit. For the artillery, you got to roll and see whether it's going to happen or not, or whether it's going to move. There's a lot of random variables. That being said, it's Konflikt, so you can just play what's fun. You know, I got horse dudes that we're gonna do. Don't worry though, we're gonna try and make them cool. That's the thing. It's gonna be so hard not to. You guys are gonna have to rein me in because I'm gonna want to make it like exploding hits or with the lances, do everything. You know. List I'm going against using armor and mortar teams, so plenty of stationary targets. Nice. So you're metagaming the lists. Nice. That's like when let's say Rev only had Soviets and he's got Drugov and he's gonna play it every time. That's like me, like specifically. Yeah, I love it. Nice. So this is how, by the way, classic wargaming goes between exactly me and Rev in Warhammer. It started out with like him with Guard, me with Blood Angels, and then we both started getting new units to countermatch each other's units. I love it. I'll report back later this weekend and let you know the Firefly. Yeah, just make sure he doesn't get shot. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. All right. Also, some other stuff I just wanted to show you. We got the sepia tone. And we also got some grass tufts. Now, these are supposed to be different size. Oh, they are. Okay. And it looks like there's green. I thought it was all going to be desert, but... Oh, no, it is all desert. Hell yeah. So these are like knockoff Army War or whatever you can tell. They're like knocking off the color and everything. I forgot what the name of that brand is. But they come in different sizes. So I haven't done anything desert and I haven't done anything non-winter, so I'm excited for my first bolt action and or Konflikt non-winter. So we're gonna do more like arid arid type, but not desert. It's going to be more like Anatolian plateau. Okay? Because that's where it is. And then I got some other random ones because I need these for other Mata Tufts. I'm a sucker for Tufts. Was that you? I think you've said this in my chat before. You've said that exact line before. I'm a sucker for Tufts. I can't buy enough. That was definitely you. All right, so sepia ink. Somebody mentioned sepia, and I didn't get a wash, so that's on me. But we got to figure out how to use this, by the way. Also, before we do that, so anyone here in chat that might know that, we're going to have to do some research. I wanted to show you guys. Oops. I'm going to fix that now. I did get a free, or I should say when there was the buy 3, get 1 free off Warlord, I did get an Africa Core sprue, and I was saving it. Because Rev wants to do Africa Core versus his Brits in bolt action. But that's so far down the road, he was saying. So I got impatient, and I cut them out, and I made them into Turkish weapon teams. So we have... So we got a medium machine gun team, because this is all from the Africa sprue. One of them is a Waffle Boy, okay? And I like scraped off all of any sort of insignia stuff, because I don't like waffle boys around here. I like waffles, but not the angry waffle guys. But so we have so these are the Africa Core dudes. And this is the, what do you call it, medium machine gun. This is more like a light machine gun almost. I don't know, but I don't know if it was supposed to be. I think it is a medium machine gun, but I'm going to have to build like a little wall here. But so we got a medium machine gun team. We got an anti-tank team, rifle team, which I was trying to figure out. I'm like, we need some anti-armor for this team, you know, some shooting. And then, of course, probably the most useless, but the thing that I always wanted, I was like, dude, I want to play these in bolt action. A light mortar team. 2-man light mortar team. So I still need to print Ottoman heads for them, these style heads, by the way. That being said, so we got a nice little thing going on. The other thing is I have a Panzer, no, I don't have Panzer 3. We have 2 Vogelspinners on the way that are printed. I may get some, I still haven't decided. I want to get some more Warlord miniatures for this army. I haven't decided if they're Panzer 3s. Or I was like, do I get stall trooping, but not have all these special infantry we're doing, you know? I don't know. It's going to be hard. They're like pancakes. They sell themselves. True. What do you call it? What was I going to say? I completely forgot. You caught me off guard with the pancakes comment. Oh, yeah. Also, update real quick. I painted all the buildings. There's like 5 different colors on each building. Bricks, walls, airbrushing. I still need to dry brush and throw washes on them. I got some posters that I printed out from online. Mixture of French and German ones. I ran out of ink though. This is what they're supposed to look like. Is there a color one? There's a color one here. This is what they're supposed to look like. Oh, the white balance is all trash. There you go. But instead, we got a bunch of black and white ones. So I'm just going to glue these to the sides of the buildings and then throw a wash on top of it. And I think that'll make them look dirty. Because, you know, hey, they're black and white, dude. The Axis is running out of ink for their propaganda, bro. Times are tough, you know. The Turks are rebelling. I've got some little brick walls from the veteran German infantry. Oh, you do? I was just going to use... foam and make bricks real quick. If you got something that would work, then let me know. But if not, I could easily make something, Rev. Like for the anti-tank and for the other guy, for sure. I'm just going to make something for them to support it on like that, you know? Alright. There's a couple things I want to do. Okay, there's a couple things we can do. What do you call it? We could either... do a test with the sepia tone or the sepia ink. The whole idea is, I'll show you guys real quick. Let's pull up a photo. Where the hell was this photo? pictures? Hold on. It's the Turkish infantry. I don't remember. Definitely saved because I have it in a thumbnail that I made. Where would it be? Shit. I'll just Google it. Just Google it. Hold on. World War II Turkish uniforms. Almost all this is Ottoman, by the way. Almost all this is Ottoman. Some of this is real. Like you can see, there's like them with Germans and or whatever or other people. But this right here is like the best one I could find. Boom. So, very simple. They almost look like Korean or Chinese in terms of the color of the clothing. So, like in terms of the more yellow khaki or something, or like the beige, you know, as opposed to the lighter tan in the German. So I think the color that I have is slightly off. It just kind of bugs me. Like, I'm sure this totally works. Like that armor. Because what I did is primed black, airbrushed brown, mostly from above, then airbrushed with the German beige. Okay? So it kind of has that like slight yellowish tint from the brown underneath, which is nice, but I feel like it could be better. Now this one I think here, I actually did a test. What I did is I took that brown, German brown paint, and I took some water, diluted it down, and I did a wash with it essentially, because sometimes I got some of the brown, I messed up, right? So I took the brush, wetted it, and wet it, and then cleaned up the areas. I was like, ooh, that kind of looks a little yellow. So this one has a little bit of yellowing in it from like a homemade wash from this brown paint that's like on the boots and everything. So you can see it's got a slight little yellowish tinge. It's kind of hard to see, especially with the, but I think the white balance of the ISO is correct. Because this one doesn't have it. You can see it. Oh, thank God it didn't break, because this is fully 3D printed. It's resin too, it'll just explode. The one on the right has a slight yellowish tinge to it compared to the one on the left. That being said, the sepia ink here supposedly is going to help give us that look. So I think, though, the idea is, I think you almost want to cover the whole thing in the sepia ink and do it like a wash. Just real quick, let's take a look. Vallejo. Hold on. Vallejo sepia wash. Let's do sepia ink and see. I'm trying to see, because I think people have done tests, but. Game color. Is this the inks? Because this, I believe, is their game color, but it's the ink. I want to see what it looks like before. Oh, damn it. Oh, here we go. I saw a couple things where people were showing, doing some tests. I think we're just gonna have to go for it. I saw a couple of different stuff. There were palettes like testing, but here's some different. This is like actual sepia ink. Now the question is, how do we use the ink as opposed to the wash? Can we just water it down? We're going to try. We're going to do some experimentation, I guess. We're going to do a little experimentation. And I think we're just going to do it in a small area as well. I'm not going to paint the entire thing. That's probably the smart thing to do. Got my crusty palette here for my terrain. I'll use this for now. This already has a little color on it. What if we took a random... We could actually do it on the inside of the leg. Is it water-based? The ink? I don't know. We're just going to experiment. We're going to see. I've used inks before. It is water-based, yeah. It's water-based acrylic ink. Like, you could spray the stuff out of a freaking airbrush if you wanted to. A lot of times you can mix it with, like, matte medium. I took inks and was mixing them with matte medium, which is like a paint base, or like a base to, like, a paint thing, and made my own washes. That's, like, what the Tyranids, what I was doing before I did the Army Painter, because it would just look better than... Because I didn't do good with the homemade wash, but... We're going to do a small amount. And we should definitely thin it down. 100 million %. Also, you guys can't see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is like... This ink is pretty strong, it looks like. You don't need a lot. Let's do a little test here. This is fairly watered down. Oh, this is already looking promising. I'm doing it on the inside of the legs because that's kind of hard to... If we screw it up, it's kind of hard to see. That's already looking promising. We just gotta let that dry now. Alright, we're gonna let that dry while we wait. We have that ink. So the question is, do I paint the whole thing first and then hit it with the ink? Like, do I put the sepia ink on the brown? I feel like the ink will kind of tie it together. I feel like I should paint the whole thing, hit it with the sepia ink, and then like paint the face or something. That's what I think I should do. Because I feel like it's going to dull down some of the colors. It's going to make them almost look like they've been hit with like sand. Even though they're not necessarily desert, and there are certainly areas in Turkey that are desert, so. I think it's going to be like we paint the whole thing, which is not much. Brown, 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 black. And that's it. Wash it. I think that's what we do. Even the gun and everything, we just hit the whole thing with the sepia wash. Kind of tie it all together, and then we can always go back and highlight things. Because this is actually a very quick like paint scheme to do. It's really just paint, and because the Turkish troops don't have a lot of stuff. Expect it might be strong and glossy. Well, this is a I think a matte one, but we'll see. It doesn't look to be dry and glossy. Also, I watered it down quite a bit. This side's more dry than the other. See how it added a little bit of yellow to it? This side's still wet. It also might be pooling a little bit. Not glossy, though, from the looks of it. This side's still wet, obviously. I think it looks good. Yeah, we'll hit another area. Let's do a test. This time, I'm not going to thin it down as much. It's quite strong. I forgot we're painting the pants white anyway to match the other guys. So this doesn't matter. This is a good place to test it, I guess. All right, so that's like more straight ink, and you can see it's much darker in color. We'll see how that reacts. Yeah, this is going to be red, and the pants are going to be white, just like these guys. And then the armor is going to be tan. That's where we're going to actually put the wash when we do it. All right, so let's let that dry. The other thing I want to do here is I want to test the paint scheme for the horse and how we're going to do it. I think I want to dry brush silver. I saw somebody doing that. We could dry brush it like gray and then do it speed paint silver, but no. I want to try and dry brush with the silver. By silver, I mean like a gunmetal gray. Which I got this old Vallejo metallic set to paint a bronze dragon. If you remember that one. I never use these much. I should. I have used the blue, and I have used the bronze. Bronze actually might be nice, but from what it looks like, the Ottoman armor it was actually like more silver. We could always hit it with a light dry brush of bronze on top. Ooh, ah. I haven't touched this paint in forever. All right, this is gonna be a test. It's gonna be a little test, just a little one. It's actually quite dark, but that's not bad because we could start with a dark color and then hit it with a lighter silver. You know what I'm talking about? Actually looks kind of good. I like it, this gunmetal. Because it is metallic, it's straight up metal horse armor, but I want it to be rift imbued metal horse armor. The whole idea is they had to get creative. They either stole some Axis rift technology, or maybe somebody gave them some basic rift technology, or they got their hands on something and reverse engineered, and they're not, you know, the Germans or the Axis are using like occult and undead. The Americans are using Tesla and his inventions. The Japanese are doing whatever the hell the Japanese are doing with interdimensional travel, and the Soviets are just drinking, like, making, they're drinking vodka and like making bears and stuff. The Turks are going to be using alchemy. It's based off of times during like the Islamic, what do you call it? Like during the Renaissance era type times where they were super into like science and alchemy and astronomy and stuff like that. They're going to be, because there were like, what do you call it? Alchemists trying to make gold from whatever the hell they were doing. I don't think they ever figured it out, but you never know. So we'll hit it with this, and then I'll hit it with a very bright silver, very lightly. And then I'll go back and paint all the other stuff by hand. These horses, by the way, I love the look. War Games Atlantic did great. But by God, this is a terrible design. I broke like half of these every time. I had to leave this in the alcohol for my for the washer. I have this washer I put the stuff in after I print it. It's I had to leave it in the alcohol for like a day because the supports were like full. It was crazy supported, and there's these tiny, teeny, tiny little legs that are supporting the entire thing. So I broke like 3 or 4 of them. I had to re-glue them back. It was such a pain, and it broke almost all the tails off as well. Anyways, that being said, I think they look sick. All right, let's go with a very light silver. Now, what I want to do, I think this Saturday, okay, we are not going to, we are going to paint, but the main thing is we're going to start working on custom rules. I want to start with the generic army rules. We'll start there, or we start with one unit, and we're going to start making rules for this custom faction. Yo, what's going on, Bobzilla? How's it going? We're going to try this. It's pretty bright. I don't know. This is platinum silver. I thought I had a, do I not have a more tame version? Oh, I do. I also have plate mail. Let's try the plate mail. That's probably better. Also, Mall Dropper, what's going on? How's it going? And Phaedros, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. What's going on? Hello, LFLies Mike. How's it going today? I figured I'd come and check you out since you're also doing weird World War stuff. Nice. What sort of weird World War II stuff are you doing? Konflikt, or I know there's a couple other games. We love the weird war. We love Turnip. We love Konflikt. I'm trying to think what other. There's some other weird games out there, but Trench Crusade. There you go. Trench Crusade's great. We do, so this is what we play mostly. We did play a fair amount of Trench Crusade. We slowed down with that, but which is where I got the inspiration for the Ottoman stuff for the Turkish army, or a good amount. Konflikt 47 is the main game, and this is for my YouTube I'm talking about. My YouTubes, I have 2 YouTubes. LI Flies Mike, where I do fly fishing stuff. This is my Twitch channel, which I've been streaming for 8 years, mostly fishing. And now I have a second YouTube channel, Mike Rolls Dice, where we do battle reports. So I also just stream on here on Twitch, but I'm also streaming on YouTube under Mike Rolls Dice. Anyways, just to clarify that, because I'm also talking to other people, so it might get confusing. What do you call it? Trench Crusade. We played some of that, but what we play now is, that's what I was talking about. Konflikt, Bolt Action, 1-page rules, Turnip 28. We're getting into Gaslands. And we're probably going to try out some other games, but that sort of genre of like smaller, what do you call it? Lesser loved games or known games. We don't speak about thou shall not who not be named. That one corporation. So we're just going to hit it, and I should be a little bit more, I shouldn't hit it everywhere. I should be a little bit more careful with this lighter silver. Which, by the way, 11th edition, I don't know anything about it. I did see it's like, I think it's going to get more expensive for me to play Blood Angels in general, because I have all of the same units. And I think everything went up, but we don't think about that game anymore. Yeah. I'm just going to hit the whole thing with the silver. Oh, there you go. That's hilarious. You found me through 2 different channels on 2 different platforms. That's great. Well, we're glad to have you. Hey, there we go. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Especially because it's got some darker side. I would love to make it look like it's rift imbued. Like it has rift energy in the armor plating. That's almost like where maybe we take white paint, thin it down, put it in between the cracks by running it. And then what we do is we take speed paint of the rift color, bright color, run it in the cracks of the white, where the white is, and then wipe the rest off. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I don't know if that would work. Anyways, I already love these guys. Why don't we have more cavalry units? I think the only cavalry units is like Cossacks or something. Like bolt action units. We need some cavalry conflict units, and guess what? We're gonna make it ourselves, baby. Pin wash oil white. Yeah. Oil though. Pish posh. We still love that rickety old wagon while enjoying our new sports cars. I love that. I love the lore and the minis and everything. The game is cool too. I try not to hate on War, or that shall not be named, but the company though. Oof. Did you get your AC squared away? I got it. It's about to go in. It fucking dropped like 30 degrees or 20 degrees. What rift color? All right, let's think about this right now, chat. What rift color? Let's think about this. Americans are blue is what I'm playing them because Tesla. The Germans, I'm doing green for the green hand. And then I was thinking about doing red for Little Peacock, but then I never did. I painted Little Peacock red and black, and Vanessa, or Helga Wunderpump, not her sister, with red and black. So I was thinking red, but I haven't done it. And Rev's using pink or like pinkish purple for his Axis, I think. His Soviets are... What color is your Soviet Rift Energy again? And the Japanese are... Like, are they yellow? I forgot what you're using. I'm thinking red. That might be too much, though, because we have red and white for the Turkish colors, for the Turkish flag, and that's the colors we're painting on a lot of these guys. So maybe... But you're using pink, you know what I mean? So... I don't know. I've been trying to figure out what color. I think red. Red would be cool. But is that too much red on them? You know what I mean? Because they're going to have some red jackets or red hat or like a red accent. Maybe not. It might not be too much. I'm thinking red though. But I need to know what rift colors you're using because I don't want them to conflict to what our own conflict lore that we've came up with on the channel. Because theoretically, if Little Peacock and his army do end up having red or something in the future, or they're just wearing... I think it makes sense then, because they could have stolen Axis. Soviets are all over. They steal their rift tech, and they don't have a rift of their own. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so that's cool then. So what's your Japanese rift color then? I'm thinking red. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because you've done pink... I've done green and blue. I just want something separate, you know, or something interesting that's different. That'll look different. We can differentiate on the table. It walks so others can run. It's still running. It's still running. By the way, I'm doing the Prussian Strauss troop in for my new Antioch warband. Got to get some extra historical flavor. Nice, nice. Yeah, I have an Iron Sultanate army and Chaos Army, and I think I started another one, but we kind of fell off with Trench Crusade. I do love the aesthetics in it. We kind of, when it comes to skirmish games, we've kind of settled with one-page rules. It's definitely like Grimdark Future. That's where we started too. That was the first game we really started with on the channel. All right. Well, I'm thinking red though. I'm thinking red. I got to figure it out though. Now, there's other stuff. We're going to end up talking about this. Japanese green, Axis. Oh, yeah, green. Okay. Axis purple, Commonwealth red, US yellow. So what other color do I have then to work with? That would be cool if I was thinking of something separate. What about orange? What about orange? I don't think we've used orange. And it kind of... Because if it's not red either. But does orange work? I got to think about what's another color. I got to think. I also got to... I guess I got to think about the lore. Fair, I just hate the direction one-page rules has been going in as it births itself as New God of War game Chaos. Is that their official title, or? Hey, RK, how's it going? Did you recommend the sepia wash, by the way? So I ended up getting an ink. So let's take a look at the results. Underneath the legs here, we did a thin down ink. You could see where I bled over with the other one. Very, very light. It did slight yellowing, so I think I could do maybe like a 50-50 mix. That was almost too light. This is like very almost just straight up that sepia ink. I ended up getting in the Vallejo game color ink. Now that looks pretty good, but you can tell it's a little too strong. And it's not gloss either. It's not gloss. But I think if I do like a 50-50 mix of it. Because you almost can't tell I did anything. There you go. You can see a little. It's very, very thin down, that under section. And this section's straight up. Because I didn't know, do I have to like mix this with a matte medium or something? But I was like, it's water-based, so I just thinned it down with a little water. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I just got to find the right ratio. This is also the horseback riders. This one I hit it with a heavier brown all around before hitting it with the airbrush for the beige. But it didn't really seem to affect it that much. I think we're just going to have to make a wash. Then I'll give it a little yellow. Don't let armies hold you back. Do it looks good. Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to figure out, what looks good. Because there's already a lot of red. Like this dude here. I want this dude's... So here's my idea. I don't think I could use Axis power armor. I don't want to. I want to come up with special, advanced, and specialized units. These are going to be the Janissaries. And they're going to be like either damage value 5 or 6. They're going to be like power armor dudes, but the whole idea is that they're wearing this, their armor's like infused with the alchemical juju. So the alchemists have like infused special rift energy into the steel with their blacksmithing. Ching, ching. You know, I don't know, something like that. But they don't look like Schwertruppen, you know? So that's the thing, like... But you can have shock troopers that are, or you can have like other guys that you can upgrade to veterans that turn into damage value 6 or something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where they should end up, in what slot. But here's the thing. I want them to look like they have rift infused energy in their armor, and like a rift shotgun and a rift sword. The whole thing is they have like small arms rift technology that they're developing themselves. They're not going to have big ass advanced body armor. I know, that's what I was thinking, but I'm also thinking about creating like custom rules essentially, instead of just copying existing abilities, doing slightly different things. So instead of it maybe being -1 to hit, maybe it'd be like -1 to the damage roll or something, which might be too strong, I don't know, but something slightly different, or something different than just copying everything pre-existing. Because if I'm going to make a custom faction, I should just make a custom faction. Otherwise, I'm just playing Axis with Ottoman figures. I already have 2 Axis armies. I don't want to technically just a 3rd Axis army. So I kind of want to make... And of course, I could play them as Axis if I go to like a tournament one day or something. But we mostly play here at the house, and we do rule a cool. So I would love to do like a custom faction. This is though, like, we're going to talk about it on stream, especially on Saturdays when we have a ton of people, because I want a ton of feedback, and I'm going to make videos on the process while building this army. I want your folks' feedback because we're doing this for the channel, also for myself because I really want to do it. It's cool. It's fucking sick. But I don't want it to be broken, you know. So it's going to be like a community thing where we're going to like, I'm going to take your folks' feedback and we're going to make a custom faction with custom rules and everything. How we do that and figure out, is it going to be balanced? Probably hell no. We got points. We're going to have to like look at existing units that are similar, look at their abilities and their weapon loadouts, things like that. The other thing is, it's going to be a lot. Like coming up with damage value, the keywords, the you know, we're going to have to keep weapon options very slim so it doesn't get overwhelming, because I'm going to have to like make like little cards. It's going to end up being a lot. But it's a project. It's a project. I don't know if I don't think anyone's come up with a like custom rule or a custom faction with rules. I've seen people come up with like an Irish rebellion army, which was sick on the Discord, which is like a British army, but it was like the Irish have stolen robots and stuff to fight back against the Brits, which I love. I mean, baseline rules reassembled are how all the units are made. There was someone that broke down all the points cost. It's just how you fluff it. Like give them ABA, but then also maybe deadly. What's ABA? Yeah, so what I was thinking is like there's also bolt action stuff. Like what if they're one of their main army rules is alchemist ammunition or alchemist ammo, and it's like for every we take the pre-existing rule from the bolt action US Army rule with fire and maneuver, where it's like for every certain amount of guns equipped with the alchemist ammunition that are firing, you get an additional shot or something. But instead of doing exactly that, you can like tweak it. What if you get an instead of that, for every certain amount of, or I don't know, maybe you could do it where it's a damage roll thing. I don't know. I was just trying to think of some sort of variation. You know what I mean? But we're definitely going to use a ton of the pre-existing stuff and just tweak to fit the flavor of the Turkish army, you know, because we're going to have whirling dervishes. So like if they teleport, they're not teleporting across the board. They're like using their like whirling dervish zikir movements to like quote unquote teleport by like you know, using like dancing through time and space to get into melee or something within 18 inches or something, and then automatically taking damage rolls because it's an unsafe thing. I don't know. Every 6 is ignore cover. Yeah, you could do something where it's like, I was thinking about that as well, where it's like we could, which is almost like we're getting into one-page rules stuff, where it's like every damage or every save. Wait, do you get? Yeah, so every cover save, for instance, roll of a 1 leads to an additional dude dying or something. Like, there's weird things like that from other games that I was like, do we start going down those routes? One thing I don't want to do is, like, have a bunch of re-rolling, because that's can be really strong. And we don't want it to turn into the game that shall not be named, which is getting an 11th edition soon, where it's like, re-roll, 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 re-roll. You know, playing against, like, it's funny because I'm like playing against Rev and his guard, and he's like, oh, Catachance, and this is my new thing, and this is my thing, and the Scions, and I'm hitting on 2s, re-rolling, damaging on 2s, re-rolling, re-roll, re-roll, re-roll. I'm like, this is bullshit. And then I'm playing Blood Angels, and I'm like re-rolling my charge, re-rolling all my hits and all my wounds, wiping the entire squad back. But it's just like re-roll. We're just re-rolling everything, dude. It's like, we should make a skit of that, where it's like Warhammer turn 1, and it's like the first activation. It's this dude doing this thing, and everything's like, everybody's just re-rolling everything. It's like an hour later, and it's like, you're finally done with that one activation. Oh, man. Yo, Squig Herder Sean, holy cow. Coming in with the gifted membership. It's only showing, there we go, it was lagging on me. Yo, Sean, thank you so much, dude. You are too kind, sir. You're too kind. Coming in with the gift member to Lord Frail, Wolf, Zekon, Lambo, and Stratix. What's going on, Sean? How's it going, dude? Thank you so much. Far too kind, good sir. Far too kind. We'll give you an update what we got going on. I was going to say, I will need your opinion on, I do want to end up doing a tiger stripe or some sort of cool pattern camo on the armor of the Janissary dudes. So I have to take some inspiration from your stuff. But we got Janissaries with Rift pump shotguns, little gas packs. I'm still a little worried. They don't look super like World War II conflict, but who cares? They look cool as hell. And then we got our, of course, the Ottoman infantry dude. Then we got something special. Check it out. We got our horseback riders with their lances. And these are the War Games Atlantic Demir Squad. Like, essentially, I think they could either be used like Desert Guard, but they're also straight up, they have all Ottoman, like, insignia and stuff. So they are Ottoman. But we got our futuristic horse in armor. Even though he kind of looks old school, he has flames coming out of his hooves. So that's something. And we got our special Rift Lance. And the cool thing is, check out the helmet, dude. The helmet looks so cool. Reminds me of an anime I saw, a Japanese anime where it's this like nomad moving around the desert. Anyways, we got our horse, and then we printed some more Janissaries. We made a couple weapon teams out of Africa Corps units. And one Angry Waffle Boy, who I scraped all his insignia off, because screw them. So these are going to be Turkish weapon teams. Which probably the anti-tank and the light mortar I can just use in an assault platoon. I just made the other guys because why not with the machine gun? Because it looks cool. Also, I just realized I can use a ton of this if I ever want to do like a custom scenario bolt action where the Turkish end up fighting the Brits in the desert for some reason. Because maybe the Brits were seizing their hash. There you go. You can help with that? Hell yeah. So let me get your opinion. You got experience with the inks? I was going to get the sepia wash. I ended up getting the ink. I thinned it down with a little bit of water. Or a fair bit of water. Because what I want to do is I want them to get more yellow. This is the base. They're primed black. Airbrushed. Slightly brown. German brown. The same that's on their boots. And then airbrushed the German beige over it. This is one without anything to it. You can see it's kind of light. And then I'm talking about the armor itself. Because that's what it was airbrushed. This one, I took some of that brown paint, watered it down, and made a little homemade wash. And it does have some slight yellowing to it, you can see. Because the whole idea is what I'm trying to do is I need to get them to look more like this. Which I almost should have just used a whole different paint. Get out of here. Alright? You will go... Whatever the hell your characters are named, they will go down... They will be my arch nemesis. The Turks' nemesis. Alright? The Turkish rebellion. Alright? And you can... That means you gotta make... You have your fezzes. How do I know you don't have Turkish collaborators on your side? In fact, I'm coming for that ass. Okay? But you can see these guys are much more yellow. So, I think we ended up getting a sepia ink. And on the bottom side here, this is watered down sepia ink. Now you can see where I applied almost straight sepia ink. These are like tests because I have to paint this anyway. That's the straight sepia ink almost. Which honestly isn't that bad, but it's too strong. And underneath it was watered down. So, which it was really, I might have watered it down too much. But what do I got to do with this ink? To get a little yellow on these suckers. I think I'm going to go 50-50. Or maybe less water. And then just hit them, make like a homemade wash. Because I made washes out of inks. And it doesn't look like it's gloss. Or drying gloss. I mean, I could always do some dry brushing, but... Anyways, we need to get a little bit of yellow in there. Being that you're the expert warlord featured painter of the stream here, I figured I'd ask the expert. Round of applause. Yeah, right now it's actually comfortable. Dude, Friday night I was dying. Friday night it had to have been 95 degrees. Then Saturday night it wasn't as bad. It's probably 80 or something in the room, but now it's nice. It's like a nice 70s, like low 70s or something. But dude, Friday I was dying. I'm putting the AC in tomorrow though. By the way, I forgot to mention, I got up at, I did for some of you folks, but I literally slept for 2.5 hours last night. Because my sleep schedule's fucked. But I woke up at 4:30 to go fishing at 5 and didn't catch a damn thing. Fished for 3 hours on my buddy's boat. So, I'm telling you, dude, I could be in the Turkish resistance. All right, I'm sleeping on 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm cognitive abilities, top notch. You give me a Rift Giselle, I'll be taking out those Totenkor. I could stay up for another 3 days probably. Probably die afterwards, but you can add a tiny bit of dish soap into your water to make your watered down ink behave more like a wash. Gotcha. That's so I do have matte medium. I have Flow Aid. I have which I what I can do is I can go downstairs, hit the hookah lounge real quick because it's been an hour, and I can go down into the basement, grab. I have matte medium because I've taken matte medium, ink, and Flow Aid and tried to make my own paints before. Because who is it? There's one miniature dude on YouTube that's really big. That Goobertown Miniatures or something, is that his name? He did something like that. But so because of that, I bought all that crap. Didn't really work, or I couldn't do a good job with it. But I have the Flow Aid or whatever, so I could probably use that, right? Okay. Yellow, white, brown mix makes sand color. Obviously mix the desired color. Well, that's kind of what we have, right? Almost, essentially. Yeah, he's a chemist. Yeah. I tried it. I was like, okay, I watched him. I was like, okay, we're going to do 2 drops of this, drop of that, little bit of ink. I tried it. I'm like, this looks like freaking yogurt, and it looks like shit on the miniature. But he's a really cool dude. I like his channel a lot. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick little break. We're going to, which, by the way, I forgot to mention, dude, shout out to everyone. Dude, the last video, the one, I was worried that people were like, I'll only watch Konflikt videos, nothing ever else again. Because that's what Rev's like, dude, we got to make Konflikt. That's all they want to watch. If you do, and he's partially right. But, dude, the one-page rules, we haven't made one-page rules in a while. And the last video didn't do that good because I didn't edit it in this current style that we've developed with the Konflikt videos. But when Universes Collide, the most recent video, got like 5,600, I think it's at like 5,800 views, which is the high, like in under a week, the highest viewed video that I've done on either channel. So shout out. We got like, I think it was like 70 subscribers from it as well. And everyone's like, this video's sick. I want to see Napoleonic dudes versus Tyranids. I want to see freaking Waffen SS versus Space Marines. I want to see this versus that. I want to see dinosaurs versus King Khan. Because we did World War II humans versus Warhammer orcs. So I had a bolt action 28mm figure next to a 50mm base orc war boss in mega armor with a grot on his back with a flamethrower and a giant axe. And you see the best part is in the game, it's not spoiling too much, but the orc like swings, misses, and I love to think that there's a freaking just like your grandpappy from in World War II. Orcs just appeared and he's like with his M1 Garand, like yeah, like bayoneting or parrying with his rifle butt, you know, a giant orc's axe swinging down. So I'm so happy people enjoyed that video because I was like, dude, we got to do this. This is going to be so cool. And people were mentioning it. A lot of people were like, what about Konflikt? And the reason why I think this is interesting, we tried to do Konflikt skirmish, and I think there is something there. I think we could develop a skirmish version of Konflikt. But what about just playing one-page rules with Konflikt miniatures? And you could just do Axis versus US, have 3 or 4 miniatures, and do little stories where it's like one dude in an alleyway, and there's like 2 Germans chasing him, or Axis, you know, and then there's like some dude up on a roof with a sniper, you know. Because there's another game, I think there's like Countdown, there's some sort of like midnight, like sneak around German US game, or British, that Game Nights played. But I think this is a great thing about one-page rules. It kind of encompasses all of the universes. It's a completely miniature agnostic, and it's kind of built to just, you can have fantasy armies versus sci-fi armies, and it's pretty balanced. So I'm excited for it, but I'm just happy people watched it, and it's our most, like, it's been the most successful video. So that being said, we have U.S. versus Axis Conflict. It was supposed to come out tomorrow, but I ended up having to finish my fly time video. That I'm finishing tonight. Summertime striper flies. So I'm going to do the Conflict video, probably be the weekend. And then we have a one-page rules game that's filmed, but we have a ton of stuff we're going to be recording. My buddy Garrett's going to come. We're going to do probably Napoleon troops versus Tyranids, which is going to be sick. So, anyways. All right. My what do you call it? I'm getting cotton mouth over here. I need to grab a drink. Yo, damn Legion, what's going on, dude? How's it going? So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take a quick little break. We'll leave you guys with some AOE tunes in the slideshow. I'm just going to run down, hit the hookah lounge real quick, grab some Flow Aid, and we'll come back and keep chit-chatting. What I think we're going to do Saturday, like, we're going to continue, like, painting and working on this stuff. But Saturdays, we're going to start coming up with the custom unit rules and the custom army rules. We're going to sit down and we're going to start. We need 4 army rules, 4 or 5. And we're going to say, okay, we got a cavalry unit. The Serendikasedi or whatever the hell they're called, that my dad told me the Turkish name. We're going to start with like 1 unit or something. We're just going to say, okay, what's its damage value? Okay, it's got the cavalry thing, so 9 and 18. It can dismount, do whatever. Do we want to use those rules or do we not? Are we ditching that cavalry crap? Because it's like a bolt action thing, you know? So we're going to come up with the weapons, this thing, and then points we'll worry about it at some point in the future, or we could do it then. But so this is where I want your folks to help too, because you guys seem to be a lot more knowledgeable, and it's funny, as somebody who has a YouTube channel where we like almost solely focus on Conflict a lot of times, I barely understand half the stuff in the game. Rev does a lot of heavy lifting, which is great, because when we get something wrong a lot of times, I'm like, well, I thought Rev told me it was this way, so that I could just place the blame on him in the comments. But, you know what I'm talking about? Easy. All right, chat. I'll be back in just a second here, and we're going to keep working on this stuff, all right? Throw this up here. All right, you guys can chit-chat. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I've returned. Thank you for being patient, chat. Went to the LGS to get some Rift dice since I didn't have 7 of one color. Yeah, I had the starter set, dude, and I had 4 of green, 4 of black. Early videos, we were using order dice like chumps. And then, our sugar daddy, Rev, over here, ended up buying some Rift dice, so thank God for him. Your boy's working on a budget. So we got some Liquitex acrylic medium flow aid additive. I knew I bought this thing for a reason. We got a couple drips of ink. So I'm just gonna do like what? Start off with one. Oh god, this is gonna be. Start off with 1 drop. Let's try that. We're gonna paint the pants anyway, so it doesn't really matter what happens here. That might not be enough, honestly. We might need more. Like 1 to 10, yeah. It's a pretty healthy drop, I will say, coming out of that hole. But I'll add another. We'll go 3, because this is a big drop. It's a big drop. That looks more like what a wash would look like in terms of consistency. Let's hit the pants, because the pants are going to be white. We also have the cape to work with, because the cape is going to be red. So all this doesn't matter. The idea is we're going to hit it and quit it. We're going to see how it settles, how it flows. I probably don't want too much excess, right? Oh, this is already looking good. God, this music's so good. Shout out to Microsoft for making some banner music. I haven't played AoE 2 in a while. I'm gonna have to, though, after watching all the Hera tournament stuff. The King's Gauntlet. It's a sweat fest, though. And ironically, not play the Turks, who are in AoE 2. They are pretty good. You can go, what, Castle and Imperial or something? But I was playing Magyars. Going for those Hussars, Wind Hussars. So we're gonna let it dry. That does look more like a wash to me. In terms of the inks, the consistency. So I'm assuming the flow aid just helps it kind of spread, right? Because the ink, it pooled up too much and it kind of got globule, you know, got gloppy. Obviously that's an accurate description or term. The flow aid seems to help break it up in terms of like how it distributes more like a wash would. Do you miss me some Age of Empires too? Man, I got into it and I was watching Hera, who's like one of the best world champs. So he's like got, because everyone, you play that game now, that's not a game where you just play it against online and on the ladder, ranked or whatever, like without knowing what you're doing, because you would just get destroyed. You know, you have to know it's like 7. At 7 bills, you go get a boar, and then you go 4 on wood, and then you lure the deer, and then you do this, and you're scouting, and then you got to go feudal age at 21, 25 pop. It's like there's like builds for each civilization and different maps. It's crazy, and that's how people play video games nowadays because of the internet. So if you just play willy-nilly, dude, you're gonna end up in the slums where you get into the trenches of AoE and the low elo. It reduces the surface tension, yeah. Well, it looks to be doing the job for sure. So that was like a couple drops of ink and 3 drops of medium. We're gonna let that dry. We're gonna see what happens. See what it looks like. Do we need more ink? Less? Because, like, I want it, you know, it's going to have a somewhat sandy, yellowish look to it. It doesn't have to be perfect either, right? You know? These could have been brand new uniforms. They could have gotten sun faded or whatever as well. Going to be trying out the First Step Pro acrylic on these Fireflies. Interesting. Is that a paint? Like a regular paint? Yeah, there's so many different brands out. I know that people use that. I've just always used Vallejo and Army Painter. I have some Citadel, but I've only bought in like 1 or 2 pots of Citadel paint. I've never bought in a pot of null. I can't even say the word oil. The stuff that people drink like it's wine. And yeah, I've only bought like some Emperor's Children colors and some Blood Angels colors for airbrushing. Other than that, I'm cheap. I have a starter paint of Army colors that are drying up about now. And I literally just buy like starter paints, starter sets. And then like, because I did watch a video from I think Goobertown and other people, and they're like, yeah, you just need like 5 paints and you just mix them. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how colors work. So I can always, the problem with that is if you're trying to be consistent and paint an entire army. So that's where, okay, I'm going to buy a Blood Angels color or something. It'd probably look more punchy with a brighter base color, but it's not looking bad. Yeah, well, that's the whole, that's the whole idea. I've already painted it now, so what I could do is obviously get a new paint color and just airbrush over it. But that's not how we do things around here. We're stubborn, and now we're gonna get a sepia wash. We're gonna make a homemade sepia wash and try that out. And you know what? It might end up looking cool, because not that I want them to be grimdark, but these guys have been like, this is like, I don't think this is Axis approved technology. Or maybe it is, I don't know, but they're not like getting the best funding and this and that, you know what I mean? So it's okay if they kind of look a little grimdarky, like kind of worn, weathered-ish, you know what I mean? We'll see how it dries. I think it'll work. It's not going to be exactly like the Turkish World War II color scheme, but you know what? I bet you most of my audience doesn't know the exact color of World War II Turkish uniform, so it's fine. I didn't until researching. Brown oil wash and let it coffee stain could give you the results you want to. Yeah, I have some different like the straw tone washes and stuff. I don't think they're oil. I don't know if they're oil based specifically, but the like the old Army Painter wash, I've had this one for years and used it and thinned it down. I've used it on a lot of different stuff. The straw tone one or whatever. I don't think I have any other washes. To be honest with you, what I've done in the past is take black paint, thin it down, and that's all of my Fireflies are like that. And they don't look half bad. I'm sure somebody like Sean would scoff, you know what I mean? A painting connoisseur, if you saw it in person, but it doesn't look half bad. This is like my poor man's wash. I just take some paint, thin it down. Honestly, I did this brown paint with this guy, and it didn't look half bad. I think I went very liberal with it because I didn't want it to be, but this one has a little bit more yellow to it. You see that? And you know what that was? That was just me getting a little brown overspill, taking the brush, cleaning it up, and I was like, ooh, that kind of looks nice. So if I just take this, don't thin it down as much, I gotta find the right mixture, and just kind of hit it with a light wash of this brown paint. It might be better than the sepia. But I think the sepia is good no matter what. Sepia tone or sepia wash is definitely a cool thing in general I can use. So it's not like a waste, but we'll see. We're testing. We're in the test phase of the color scheme. The main thing is I'm digging the horse. Dry brushing it. We're going to have to figure out, we still haven't figured out the rift color. What's the rift color energy? Because I want to fill all the little cracks and crevices with some rift energy. Because I want it to be rift horse barred armor. So, I mean, what do you call it? It's pretty simple. I think what I'm going to do is just paint them as usual. Do the brown for the shoes, for all their accessories. Black for the weapons. See if they have any special socks. I don't think so. And probably not paint the face. And then hit the whole thing with a wash. The sepia wash that we're going to make. And if I need to, I can go back and hit things in a raised area. But I think hitting the whole thing in the sepia wash is going to like tie it together in that sort of like sandy color. That's the hope, at least. That was my idea. This is where you guys come in and say, no, do it or don't. And I could always, if I want to, edge highlight, like raised areas, come back with the mix some beige and brown, make it a little bit more yellowish, and like kind of hit the raised areas if I wanted to. Am I going to do that with 30 Turkish infantry, basic infantry? Probably not. But for some of the other cool guys, I probably will. Let's get an expedited drying process. I mean, we pretty much get the idea here. I don't want to wash it out with the color. This is more accurate. It's still a little wet, but I mean, it doesn't look half bad, I think. Definitely turned more yellowish compared to the other areas. I mean, that's not half bad. What are we thinking? We digging that? It's still a little wet. And I could always come back and hit the... Now, this is all... The pants are going to be white. This is going to be red. We're just doing a test. But let's say this was the armor we hit with the wash. I could come back and hit the raised areas of the armor. What I could do is hit the raised areas of the armor with rift color. I'm trying to figure out also, how do I make the armor... This is what I wanted to ask, Sean. I was like, I might do a color scheme or whatever. I want these guys... The Turks don't have power armor in the traditional sense where it's big, bulky Axis armor. They're using alchemists. They're using alchemists to make better ammo, and they're using alchemists to imbue rift energy. They've somehow figured out alchemy in the rift, and the rift to maybe finally figure out the secrets of alchemy. And now they're getting all this stuff and they're hoarding it to themselves. And they figured out how to make armor that isn't as bulky, but is a little bit stronger. You know what I mean? So how do I make it look like a rift armor, you know? But still be the sand desert sort of, or the Ottoman color, or the Turk color. So I was thinking about painting it like, you know, with the wash and getting yellow. And then maybe somehow in like the edges of the armor, painting it white. Then painting it, let's say the rift colors red or orange, speed color, whatever bright color that, and then maybe a little white on the edge, you know, something like that. Because I want them to look like this is going to be rift imbued. The armor has rift. The horse armor has rift. They don't have like giant rift guns. They don't have Tesla cannons. They don't have Moschen spheres and Schwerfield cannons, like big heavy duty stuff. They have all small arms and like melee old school stuff, but imbuing rift technology into it. Maybe even bows. We might get some dudes with bows, who knows. That's the idea anyways. So I think the wash came out okay. I don't know, it's always scary though. It's like once you're like, okay, do I commit? I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I probably just got to make sure it doesn't really pool up in too many areas either. But you got to realize it's only going to be like the boots, the shoulder pads, this gauntlet, the chest armor. Oh, we are probably hitting the turban thing. I don't know. We'll see. So you're doing red as your main accent color? Like red and white, or red, yeah. Red and white, because that's kind of that's the Turkish flag color. And that's also like in Ottoman times, Janissaries had like red garbs, like red jackets. I don't think they necessarily had white pants, but I'm going with white pants, and I'm gonna hit that with, so the white, super bright, this is just like basic. I'm gonna hit that with a like a watered down wash. Probably, I don't know about sepia, maybe, but it might get too yellow. More like a traditional wash, so it just kind of looks dirtied, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so it's going to be red and white are like the main bright accent colors, if you will. And it's the sand Ottoman sort of like sandy yellow is the main like army color, because these dudes are just basic infantry, right? They don't have anything fancy. Maybe a little bit of red on his Ottoman headband or something. I'll paint a Turkish half moon and star. But these guys are like your basic infantry from World War II, equipped like they were. The Turks in World War II, which they weren't participating, but they still had an army. These are the special advanced units that get all the cool shit. They're the modern-day Janissaries with pump-action rift shotguns, rift sabers, and rift armor or something. Or whatever, you get the idea. So these guys are going to be sick. You know what I mean? The Efferetti Flame, holding on to those ideas. Hell yeah, some gin in a bottle. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, though. That's scary. To fuck with gins. You don't fuck with the gins, bro. Alright? You're going to have to, like... You're going to need, I guess, special, like a sheikh or somebody, to like exorcise the demon after you've thrown it out of the bottle. Because it's not like the, what do you call it? My dad scared the shit out of me when I was young. Because like the Turkish or the Arabic or like Islamic equivalent of ghosts is like a jinn. And you think of like a genie in a bottle sort of thing, like almost thing, you know what I mean? But jinns are scary as hell. They're like demonic spirits, you know what I mean? That like can possess. It's like our equivalent of like essentially like exorcism ghosts or something sort of deal, where they try and trick people and stuff that way too. But that sounds like an interesting idea. You can use that as a weapon, a jinn in a bottle. So your whites and browns are neutral colors, same with grays, etc. If you want to do a split complementary color scheme, your next accent color should be something greenish. Well, greenish does make sense, because green is a known Axis rift color from a certain well-known Axis platoon commander in Stalltroopen armor, aka Colonel von Liechtenstein. I didn't have a lightning strike, because it would have been good if there was like a lightning, like a lightning crack when I said his name. Which, by the way, I haven't forgotten, he does have a freaking wyvern called Schnitzel that we're going to put rocket launchers and machine guns on it. And when I do a German Air Forward Observer, Schnitzel's going to come in, which is a giant wyvern, or like a drake with like rocket launchers on it. And it's going to be like shooting machine guns. Because I saw somebody use the green hand emote, and I was like, dude, I totally forgot about Colonel von Liechtenstein. We haven't played with him in so long. So I can use green. I was thinking if I use red for Rift, it's going to get blended. It's just going to blend in too much. So we need something that stands out for the Rift color. So, and the whole idea is they're kind of stealing the Rift technology too, in some way. Even though they're stealing Rift technology, but they're not copying it. They're like taking probably the science behind the Rift energy and coming up with their own technology with it, is the idea. Small arms stuff. They're not going to have anything, and they're not going to have anything fancy. They're just going to have some basic Vogelschwinnes at most, or really shitty tanks like Panzer IIIs, T-27s or 26s, Valentines. That's all they had. So, you think orange for Rift? Honestly, I did like the idea about orange. What do you think about orange, Sean? I guess he's just thinking about it from like a miniature painting mind, where you want, certain colors complement each other and they need to look different. I was thinking about orange, because it's not red, and I don't think I've seen it. I haven't seen any orange in a lot of Konflikt stuff. Because what if it's like the red. Or what if it's like another Rift color that we see in other stuff, but they've tweaked it or something. Or they've tweaked the Rift, so now it's a different color. I know it doesn't matter, right? But I feel like there's some lore behind the color in the Rift. That's just me. Okay? In reality, you could probably pick whatever you want. I guess we could do a test. Let's do a test, shall we? I don't have another one of these dudes painted. But how about this? How about we'll paint the tip of this gun white, right? And then we'll do orange on one side, green on the other. It would blend together. You could do an analogous... Okay, well, you're speaking French now, okay? There's no French in the chat. Color scheme with a really bright orange. It won't be as impactful, but would work. Yeah. What about, like, orange and green? No, that's too much. All right, we're going to do a test. How about that? We're going to put a little white paint on the end of this shotgun here. I should paint it black first. Let's do that. So I don't need to worry about that later. I understand what you're saying. Green, like, is, for instance, is different enough to where I think it would look good. Make the armor really dark. Then you do orange in the crevices between the plates, like an internal glow. Well, so that's what I'm doing exactly right here. Or not exactly. This is more like a silver, but I hit it with a gunmetal first, so it's like, and it's primed black. Now that would be hard to, I guess I would have to paint like all of the armor on the Janissaries then, which was like, well, the sepia thing would still be a thing, but I would like to keep the tan color. And what I could do is tiger stripe. I could do a tiger stripe where it's like black, brown, and the tan, you know what I mean? On the tan, and then have orange in the crevices. All right, let's see real quick. We're going to have to do some experiments. Also, we can't live our lives off a color palette. You have to go with your heart. But you may very well be right. That green will look better. We will find out. Yeah, I was thinking about doing some sort of like tiger stripe or some sort of cool... I don't know about leaf. I'm thinking like a tiger stripe, but... And, oh, damn it. I want to paint the shotgun black first. So what I could do is brown and black for those camo colors. Make the armor much darker overall, but still have some tan in there. Because I like it. And the rest of the army has it. And then I can do, like you said, a pin wash of some, like, white paint in the crevices, really thin. And then put the speed paint, bright orange. Just thought. Just paint this black, so I don't have to worry about this in the future. Which, by the way, I've never seen this until Bolt Action, and then it got recommended to me. Well, you paint your guns black and stuff, and then you take an actual pencil with the, not lead, but the graphite, and you run the graphite along the edge where the, what do you call it, would be? The raised edge. And oh my god, it looks great. I did that with a bunch of my Bolt Action stuff. It's an absolute cheat code. And I've only seen people do it, I've never seen anyone do it with Warhammer. I was like, dude, Bolt Action? I like that. Very cool. Or I guess, you know what? Would a better test be to paint the sword one color? No, we'll just do a shotgun on one side and the... Yeah. We don't want to get complicated. That's what you did for the weathering on the saucer? What's that? I got confused because I've been talking so much. You mean the weathering on the saucer? This is what happens. I talk too much while I stream and I forget what the hell I said. Alright. I'm just being impatient, but I paint this white. And I don't have a ton of actual nice paints in actual colors, or paints. I don't have a ton of nice colors in actual paints, so we're going to use the speed paints, because these are some of the nicest colors I have. And they're nice. I do like the speed paints. They are very good. That's why I'm painting white here. Even if I did add colors, I saw somebody, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but this is how I do it. And I don't do things right most of the time. Paint something white, then you can like airbrush it or paint it with like the glow or the color you want, and then you can hit it again with a white or something. I could be doing it completely reverse than the way you're supposed to. Oh, the pencil, yeah. That's the other thing. For a tank, it took me like 5 minutes to do the tank, you know, as opposed to painting, edge highlighting everything. Which I did on some Space Marine stuff, and I was telling Rev one day, I was like, look, you see the edge highlighting? He didn't even like notice it at first. I'm like, this took me hours to do. Alright. I don't know why I covered this up. We're gonna get some, let's see, some orange here, and then some bright green. Shamrock. Just a drop. Teeny little drop. Don't need much here. There's a test. Alright. Start off with the green. This is what I use for the green hand stuff, a lot of it at least. I'll just do a halvesy. What would be really slick is if we could find a way, I'm saying we, figure out how to do all this stuff for me, Sean. What I would be, if I could figure out, have like, if there's like multiple colors, like Rainbow Rift almost, like, or like if you have 2 or 3 different colors that kind of like you can do in different areas, so it's like glowing, and you could probably have accompanying colors, but like multiple Rift colors. Put that in your pocket, all right? That's for your next army, Sean. You want the front page of Warlord? There you go. Multiple Rift colors in one unit. Done tastefully. You can figure it out. I don't know if this is the tasteful way to do it. This looks like a piece of candy or something, but maybe you could do it in quadrants. It would have to be random. It would have to be like where it's like kind of, you have it like, you can't just take work. Oh yeah. Yeah, what's going on, Krayos? We've done a fair bit of kit bash, and a lot of it's 3D printing, to be fair. These are War Games Atlantic. The Demir Guardian from Deathfield. So I think this is their version of like a sci-fi Ottoman soldier. So this is the green, sort of like rift. It's kind of hard to tell, and this is not a very good representation of it, but that's green. Green with the red and white. Okay. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Flop it around. Wow, the white balance really makes that look red, but I swear to God, that's orange. So that has something to do almost a little bit more with the white balance. It's almost like we want yellow. Maybe yellow is a better color to work with it. Let's paint the edge of the sword. This also could be the speed paint and how it's reacting to it, but with the base layer. I'd like to try Konflikt 47, but here in Brazil I can't find it, unfortunately. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You can always get it online, but I'm sure everything, probably importing stuff, is quite expensive and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if there is some folks in Brazil playing it. We'd have to take a look. If anyone, if we could figure it out, I'm sure it'd be like in the Konflikt Discord or something. But yeah, I'm sure like getting the stuff in and it not being crazy price is the hard thing, right? For you, if you're just trying to play. I mean, it's much more reasonably priced than all the other big games, but yeah, it's like tariffs and stuff, or import, whatever, customs or whatever, probably for them, or whatever it is. Or by the time it gets there, it's... And that's also, it's... The Konflikt's smaller than, of course, the game that shall not be named, which I just love calling it that. What do you call it? if we've seen a lot of people in like Morty's chat that are like, I would love to try Conflict, but nobody plays it, you know, in my shop or something. And people are like, oh, well, you could just, hey, why don't you, or maybe you get 2 armies and try and get someone to play it, which is something you totally can do. But I totally understand there's probably some areas where it's like the GW games just dominate everything, and it's all like that, and it's impossible to, in some places, you know, some places have really healthy bolt action and Conflict, like, and battle tech and all these games and one-page rules and Trench Crusade all on with the GW stuff in game stores. But I think there's probably some other game stores where it's just like mostly the popular stuff, so it's harder to find somebody to play like a new game with, you know. And it gets harder where you go to other countries further away where things get more expensive. It isn't that it's expensive, but we pay a lot of taxes here for bringing stuff. That's what, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's like the import fees that you guys have to pay. I know my dad's Turkish, and like to bring for somebody to buy a guitar in Turkey, it ends up becoming like double the price of what it was, which is ridiculous, or something. Maybe even more. Like I forgot the import fees or something in Turkey is like crazy. Especially for like a shop owner, like importing like Gibsons or something for a guitar shop, you know. Anyways, we're continuing our test here. I will say Conflict's fantastic, and if you ever do get an opportunity to play it, I highly recommend it. I just love, I don't know, in my mind, I've created almost a super villain of Sean where he's watching me in like a chair, like Dr. Evil in his painting chair, and he sees like how much paint I have on my brush, like, oh my god, he didn't, and the paintbrush is like all screwed up, and like, it's probably too much paint. And I'm making all this stuff up, but you're just such a good painter and stuff. In my mind, I've created, like, I picture you as like Dr. Evil in your painting chair, like, yes, working on your totem core or something. What do you call it? And you're watching me like this, fool. I don't know why. That's what I just pictured in my head. You as Dr. Evil with a cat, complaining about like, oh, look at what Mike's doing. Just for fun, by the way. Just for fun. That I did put. That is a little thick on the paint. Not like crazy, but it just would dry a little bit thicker if I just thinned it down ever so slightly. We're gonna try yellow, or how about this? What if we go yellow, orange, yeah, or something like that. We could all blend it. I put a couple of goblin mini pics in your Discord. How I do the undercolors. Also leave my cat out of this. What was the cat's name? Was it Mr. Bigglesworth? In Dr. Evil? Mr. Bigglesworth? What was the cat's name? I feel like that's what it was. Mr. Bigglesworth. Yep. Mr. Bigglesworth. I like cats. I'm more of a dog person, but I've had a couple cats. I do like cats. It was Mr. Bigglesworth. See, why the hell? This is where the American education system, it's worked. I've remembered the key assets and information that I need from my childhood. Mr. Bigglesworth. I knew it. You know why I brought that up? Because there's a freaking Verizon commercial with the original cast of Austin Powers. Rob Lowe, Mike Myers, Seth Green, and the lady that's like, bring in the dogs! That lady or whatever that screamed in the Germans, which, by the way, the way she, like, yells and stuff like that and does, like, it's not... She definitely inspired my crappy Axis accent that I do in my videos. Hers is amazing. It's not even necessarily Axis, but you could tell it's definitely, like, Eastern European, German, almost, like, and she has, like, a very sketchy, like, look to her, like she could have been in World War II. But I love that, just, like, yelling, like, bring in the Bring in the prisoners! She would just like yell everything. There's a freaking Verizon commercial with Mike Myers and all them dressed up as Dr. Evil. I was like, oh my god, is there a new Austin Powers movie? But nope, it didn't say like Austin Powers coming out soon, brought to you by Verizon. It was just like a Verizon commercial. You got dogs and chickens? Well, now you're just bragging, alright? You don't gotta brag, alright? I'm sure there's some folks in chat that probably have a dog. Probably have a cat. Maybe even both. There's probably even folks that just have chickens. Maybe chicken cat. Maybe chicken dog combination. But to have all three, you're just bragging at that point, alright? That's first world privilege. You can afford all three. There's probably a lot of people in the third world that have chickens, dogs, and cats, but I just... By the way... I'm just fucking around. I slept for 2.5 hours. In total, so if you think about it, I really didn't sleep. I've probably been up for, like, probably a good day and a half straight. I was like, I probably shouldn't stream. I should probably, like, do some editing and not expose my brain to even more mental power than it needs to be on the internet. So that's yellow. Which, maybe the orange will stick up better next to my white ass hand. It does look a little bit more orange. Probably the way the white balance. So that's orange. Yellow. And green. It's hard to say because it's on the end of the shotgun and stuff. I mean, yellow... I don't know, dude. It's hard to say whether I like the yellow. It's really hard to say whether I like the yellow. I hate to say it, the green kind of looks the best. Damn it, Mr. Bigglesworth was right. I mean, the yellow doesn't look bad. But you gotta realize this is gonna be like in the crevices of the armor. I mean, the yellow on the sword does look cool. I would almost think you start at the top yellow and near the end you do green. That's something I want to test now. What if I did blend the colors? You know what I mean? What if the rift color is near the tip, it's yellow. Near the base, it's green. That's what she said. What if I did something with the speed paints? Because you can do it with the speed paints. I'll show you guys. Behold! My creation! So I didn't approach this like a miniature. I approached this... I've taken watercolor classes at a very prestigious school where like rich kids go because my friend's mom was a lunch lady there, so we got to go take classes like during the summer from like these world-class watercolor painters. Did I actually learn anything? No, but I did kind of learn how to blend watercolor paints. So the way I painted this, I forgot. I think I started with yellow because the lightest color... If you try and go yellow on top of the darker colors, it's not going to do anything with the speed paint. It will turn green. But what I did is yellow on the bottom here for the flesh. For the scales, I did blue speed paint. And where they mixed together, I took my brush and I blended them, and that's how we got this green. And then I think I might have taken some green and actually brightened it up in between. But that's how you get a natural transition between the yellow and the green. And I did this all while it was wet, by the way. So you can like do it while it's wet. Now it's going to be harder to do on fine detail stuff. But what I could do is I could go like this. That's the tip of the sword, and that's the base of the sword. And it goes yellow to green, like that. And we could do that cool little pattern the way we did it with the white on the black thing. We'd probably do it with like a silver or bronze colored sword. Okay. I kind of want to... So, we've done the yellow. Now we should be able to take green and pepper it in, theoretically. It's better when it's wet. I'm not going to lie. But we're going to do a test here. I think I want to thin out my brush before I go too far up, though. I like how the AoE music sounds like it's Lizard Man music, too. Yeah, those are one-page rules, Lizard Man, that I printed specifically for Age of Sigmar's Combat Patrol thing, because Rev got the Skaven, and then we never played it. But it's one-page rules of Lizard Men, and I already have a sci-fi version, so screw it. I love those models anyway. Yeah, see, it's better to do it while it's wet, for sure, but you can kind of... It's definitely something you almost have to do it while it's wet, because you can kind of get them to blend together naturally. You know what I'm saying? Au natural. Just go back over with a little yellow. I think you'd want the green to come up more, but... It doesn't look good here because it's not blended, but the whole idea is that it's going to be more of a natural... It's going to go from like darker green at the base to light. I don't know. What do we think? Do we like... I mean, the yellow looks good, but I don't know if the yellow look good in the crevices of the armor is the issue. For the rift color, because I want the armor to be rift. And like, think about the shotgun. I'm going to have the shotgun, you know, like I'll like paint the top of the barrel, like, you know. Rift shotguns, of course. When in doubt, blame the rift for everything. Good and bad. Sorry, I'm like moving all over the place. Let's get a good look. I think you'd want the green to come up some more, maybe. Yeah, I don't know about the green and yellow now. I think you just want to pick one color. Huh. Well, I'm going to have to do some tests. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. I'm going to have to try one with green. I'm going to have to, like, do the armor. And I'll have to try it with yellow, but yellow is real... Dude, if we do a sepia wash, too... Yeah, the armor's too close to yellow. Yeah, we could always use yellow on something, for sure. But yeah, the armor's too close to yellow. So it's either going to be orange or green, and it looks like it's going to be green, dude. I hate to say it. Squig Herder Sean was right. Round of applause. Damn it. Damn you, Mr. Bigglesworth. I should... Wait. Wait a minute. You killed Will Ferrell while he was wearing a fez. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. It all kind of lines up. It all kind of lines up. All right? We're going to need to have a game one day where it's your Axis versus my guys, and we'll see who has the better fezzes. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I will have custom army rules specifically designed to beat your specific list. Don't worry. I'll create a custom detachment. We'll do it on the stream beforehand. But yeah, I think you're right. I think the green's the way to go. I don't think of any rift colors that would work with the red and white like a purple could, but we have purples. I mean, purple could. Purple's kind of a noble color. I don't know, dude. I still can't make up my mind. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a photo and I'm gonna throw it in Kratara, which is my poor man's Photoshop, and I'm gonna just do it that way. That's something like we could do right now, but I gotta take a photo. I gotta do this. We'll do that next stream or something, or I'll do that off stream or something, whatever, and as part of the video. But I could only think of like maybe purple might look good with the red, white, and the tan, but I don't know. But now I'm looking at the green working with the red and white. I don't know, dude. Shit. Fuck, I don't know what to do. We're just gonna have to try different stuff. Like, now I almost think like pink might look good, you know? But it might be too close. Yeah, we gotta do like a Photoshop thing, huh? Is there any way I could do this real quick? To where I don't need to like take photos and stuff? Hold on. Hold on, there's gotta be a way. We live in 2020 something. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. I mean, I guess this will work. Hold on. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Krita. I used to pay for Adobe Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects. It was like $60 a month. Crashing all the time. I said, screw all that. Have you seen the Army Painter effects? No, I haven't. Is it like a paint or is it like a base thing or? Purple, red, and pink would look good. Purple, red, and pink would look good. You put the, if you put the work in, usually really dark neutral colors. Okay. Let's see this. Okay. This is a poor man's test here. Oh. Just like, you know, he's got like, imagine this guy's got rift energy coming out of him. Imagine this is armor, right? And I guess he's got like his clothes that kind of have some rift energy to it, so you gotta go like... like on areas. It's more like pink, but you get the idea. So that's kind of like red color. Oh. Okay, now there's got to be a way I can just change the color without having to redo all that, right? There's got to be a way I can do it, but I don't know. I guess I probably was supposed to put this in a separate, I was probably supposed to... What's... Mic check. Whoa. Hello? Hello? Okay, that was weird. Did you guys hear that? Was my microphone all fucked up? What it sounded like. Look up Data Slate Glow Plasma Coil. They have pink. I think I... Oh, I have plasma something else. I think I know what you're talking about. It's like a glow effect. Okay. I should, yeah, but you can do it with paint. That's how I've always done it. So this is red, right? Which, I mean, we're already going to have red. That's conflicting. So why did I do that? What about green? Okay, that's not going to work. Damn it. There's got to be a way I can change all the colors at once, but I don't know how to do this. I mean, it's close enough. It kind of works. Nah. We'll just do the other guy. It's fine, it's fine. It looks kind of wacky, but you get the idea. We're just looking for colors. See how they work. Oh, dude, Mr. Bigglesworth is like, that's not where you're supposed to edge highlight for the rift. Mike, what are you doing? Shut up, Mr. Bigglesworth. No, I'm sorry. I know your cat's not named Mrs. Bigglesworth, so I'm not yelling at your cat. I'm yelling at you on a movie set dressed up with a movie cat. I have those army effect paints and they're nice. I might need to check them out then. Gotta lock up chickens, hit the sack, check out the weeds around the base of the smoking goblin when you get a chance. Alright, yo, thanks for hanging out, John. Appreciate it, dude. Ah, I see, I see. Wow, that looks sick, by the way. So that's like yellow and green almost right there. So that's like a, look at that. It's like purple and green. Yeah, it looks nice. Okay. Alright, alright. Let's just throw some color on these guys. This is not an accurate representation of what it looks like either. Yo, what's going on, Cosmic? How's it going, dude? Yeah, we're just working on our Turkish army over here, so we're messing around with color schemes and stuff like that. Let me see something. Fuck. I guess taking a photo would be the best way to do it, dude. We're just gonna mess around here. We're streaming a little bit longer here. I gotta get back to editing. Alright, let me take a photo of this freaking dude. How about that? And then we'll do it in there. Okay. You're doing some modeling, might do some recording. Very nice. Yeah, I've been recording. I'm definitely making a video out of making this custom army. I've been recording, building, and doing some painting and stuff off stream. Just give me a sec, chat. We're gonna do this the right way. We're gonna try and figure this out. I'll have to check that out though, Atlantis. The Army Painter Effects. I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget. Army Painter Effects. Is that right? Yeah, effects. Oh, dry blood effects. Okay, plasma glow. I see it. Okay, okay. I see it. I see it. Yang, is that? Hopefully, I'm saying your name right. Hey, I just saw your most recent video of U.S. versus Soviets. Were those STLs or proxies for the Paragons? They are proxies. Well, they are STLs, but they're proxies. I'll show you right now. Hold on. They are Green Hell Infantry. Green Hell Division. By Daka Daka store on My Mini Factory. These guys right here. There's my Tesla guy. I also use this guy as a Tesla guy because I'm lazy. I just realized though there's other Green Hell. Those guys look pretty cool. Oh, that guy's got it's a power fist though. There's definitely like Katachans essentially. Yeah, you see chain swords and stuff. These guys look non-Warhammer enough. You know what I mean? Even though that is a melt-a-gun, I think. This guy's holding M16. So I was like, okay, these guys work. A lot of people have asked about these, but yeah, this is what they are. The Green Hell Division is $10. It's STLs though, so you got to either have them printed or whatever. There are some other good ones though from War Games Atlantic. I think has some good ones. If you check out Tabletop Command Post, he's got a video on, I think, those. All right, just give me a sec. Mr. Bigglesworth. Okay. All right, now we're doing it right. God, you can really see. It's crazy. This is resin print too, but you can actually see the thing. The current Paragons are dated as hell. Yeah, because they are dated. There's the one big dude and there's the thing. The old rules were written that way. I'll show you the other ones that I think look good. War Games Atlantic Death Fields, I want to say. Which one were they? I don't think it's these ones. Maybe though, but these aren't. I don't think they're it. No, it wouldn't be that. Well, they got like Trench Crusade type stuff. Oh, you gotta be careful. You don't want to say that. Is it Reptilian Overlords? This is what it is. Space Nom. Here we go. This is if you don't have STL or a printer. These look good too. That could be your Tesla cannon right there. Very Paragon looking to me. This is what Tabletop Command Post used. But if you got a printer, the Green Hell ones will save you a little money if you're willing to do it. You know what I mean? You're willing to wear the protective equipment and get resin all over you. Which, honestly, I gotta get a new printer, dude. Check this out. You would think that shit's FDM'd. You don't really see that in person, but man, when you zoom in with a fucking nice camera, huh? I don't know if we want it there. We could always just do like a... We're adding the rift. Do you want it underneath? I think I just want it maybe on the edge. Anyways, we're going to get a zoomed out look. Oh my God, I'm struggling with the mouse control here. I'm doing this with the mouse. Let's make their eyes green too. They're smoking that Rift Kush, bruh. That Rift hash. I don't know if I like the green. With the red and white. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an armor scheme, or armor color. Oh God, how do I? Oh God, let's just drag a new layer in. Oh. I don't know if I like the green. I'm gonna be honest with you. The problem is getting certain colors to look good on actually painting it to look the bright. This will magically be the right color we're looking for, but let's try orange. The green, you think the green looked good? I don't know. It didn't. I don't know. I mean, it did look decent. It wasn't talking to me though. You know, it's not like damn. That's what I'm looking. I'm looking for it to be like damn. Might be tricky though to do the orange, and you know, get the orange to paint good. Okay. How's my cursor? There it is. Like disappearing. It's because of my thing's so small. My thing's so small. Oh, get that clipped. It's because the size of the painter was so small. Like it comes out from under the armor. Yeah, that's kind of like the idea, right? Is like I would need it to glow enough to where you want it like coming out of the armor, and I probably don't want it like, I'm not doing it right, but I'd probably just want on certain raised areas to have it. Like it's glowing from the armor, like whoosh, through the armor itself. I mean, orange doesn't look bad, but I see what we're saying. It's blending all in, right? It's all blending together. It's all blending together. Dragging a new one. Let's go pink. Let's see what pink looks like. Might be too similar to red. Yeah, you kind of want it like coming from underneath the armor like this, right? And in the crevices. So let's try that where it's like... something like that. Yeah, it's funny now. The green might looks the best, actually. See, we're not even getting the white and the red. We should be getting the white and the red in the pictures. That's really important. I don't know. Maybe red is the call. There's only so much red on there. Honestly, I'm not even joking. Maybe red is the call. Honestly. Keep it simple, stupid? Let's see. I mean, green did look... I will say, out of all of them, I think green probably looked the best that we've done so far. I will say that. Oh, dude, my back. My back is jacked. Alright. And I kind of made it opaque so it almost has like a slight glow effect to it. I think if we do add red rift color, we just can't have too much red in general. I think that looks decent. It looks like he's got his like clown makeup. I mean, that looks pretty good. Sorry, it's kind of hard to control to get this nice and even. That's better for you guys probably to watch. Honestly, I will say this is actually a really great way of like trying out armor colors and stuff. There's green. It does look pretty good, honestly. Whoa! The fifth dimension. Oh, that's what happened. God damn it. I keep doing the wrong one. There we go. Yeah, orange ain't it. Oh my god. Keep clicking the wrong one and adjusting it. I don't think pink's it. Here's pink, orange. Green's looking pretty good. But fuck, dude, I don't know. This is hard. It'd be a lot easier if I didn't do any rift color energy, but that's boring. Everything's going to be rifted. They're gonna be rifted up. Just not big boy rift, small boy, small stuff, you know? I feel like we gotta do purple too before we finish. This is about the most red that will be on the miniatures. Having a red jacket like this. Maybe red on the head. Oh, I'm gonna try a purple, I think. That's really, I don't know what else. It's hard to say, dude. The green is kind of nice, but I don't know. It's just not like, it's not resonating with me, you know? It's not like, We're gonna try one more. What about this? God, this makes me want to play Age of Empires. I haven't played in so long. Dude looks like an Inca warrior or something. Some cool shit. I kind of like the purple. Now, one thing we got to realize too. There's gonna be like a tiger stripe. What the fuck? Why is it? Why is it? The opacity seems okay. Why is it like, for some reason it's not coming out in like full color strength. I don't understand why though. Okay. There's gonna be like camo going on. I can't get the right colors though. Why is it fucking doing that? I'm just an idiot, I'm sure. It's gonna be like some sort of tiger stripe, but with black and like gray. One shade darker? Yeah, we could go darker with it too. Yeah, you can find like a middle ground. That's kind of nice, that purple. I think it's green or purple. Yeah, I don't think it's red. The red doesn't work with because we already have red. I'm leaning towards purple. It's also like purple's like a color of like nobility, right? And like wealth because of like how hard it was to get actual purple dye from like freaking seashells out in the middle of the Mediterranean and stuff. I kind of like the purple, yeah. And it's a darker color because we have tan, red, and white. But it's still in a similar palette range, I feel like, to red. Like, it's like... Yeah. I think the green might be a little too... It's like green, red, and white. And the... I don't know. I think the purple works better. I think I'm sold on purple. I think I like it. Now, mind you, it's going to be much more subtle than this. It's going to be very subtle, but like their eyes might be glowing purple or something, you know, too. This is a very slap your chop, just checking way. All right, I kind of like purple. Not gonna lie. That may be what we do. I don't know though. But that was a good test. That was good. I am gonna let's double check our homemade wash that we made. Now that it's fully dried. Oh, that looks good. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, I'm happy with that. I'd put that over all the tan areas. It's a little strong. But I like it. Like, so this is the color we're gonna have. It's like almost more yellow than tan, right? But it is. So it's like this yellowish tan on the armor. It's gonna be white where the pants are, red for the cape area and on his arms. This is gonna be tan. We probably keep any armor bits tan, and then we'll do some sort of tiger striping on the armor, and in the crevices of the armor will be glow. What is the armor color? The armor color is this tan, or like this this tan here, and then it's gonna have like tiger striping on it. Is the idea. So no, even if this is a little bit strong, this wash, we are gonna tone it down with like a tiger striping on top of it. You know what I mean? So, because there's technically primed black, airbrushed from above brown, and then airbrushed mostly from above, but like going up like this with the tan. And then we made a sepia wash. So, all right, cool. I think we got it figured out. I'll do a test off stream or something. What do you call it? It's getting late here, so we did get a nice. I wanted to. Like I said, we're gonna start streaming during the week though, as well. So we've been just streaming Saturdays, which is fun and I enjoy it. But I want to stream more often because we got a lot of stuff to do hobby wise. So I have a ton of editing stuff to do, but I got a lot of stuff to catch up on. All of these buildings I've been working on. Oh, where are we at? Rev's been doing so much hard work, 3D printing stuff, and I've been slacking, so we're finally getting them all done, and like 8-10 layers of painting each one, and like I'm gonna put posters and crap. So I finally got a backlog of all that. I got more buildings I'm working on. I'm wrapping up any final touches on like U.S. Army stuff I have, and I'm gonna finish bases and stuff. So I got a ton of stuff to do, and now that I'm super excited because now that we're working on a custom faction, I was like one Saturday stream's not gonna cut it, so we'll see if I got time during the week. We'll definitely shoot for like I'm gonna figure out what day during the week we're gonna try and always stream. But you know, especially if I'm in the hobby mood, I'm just gonna go live and we're gonna do some painting or do whatever. So, or if I'm working on the army, but yeah. All right, chat. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. What do you call it? A little bit of painting, but more so a lot of theory crafting of the paint schemes and the army rules and all that jazz. This Saturday, what we are going to do, we're going to sit down and start. We're going to pick a unit or pick a single army rule, and we're going to brainstorm. And I'm going to tell you what I think maybe we should do. I'll probably come up with multiple versions potentially, and then we could pick. We could brainstorm and stuff, but we're gonna start coming up with the actual faction like rules and units, because I'm almost like we're getting to the point to where I almost have an army printed. It's gonna be primed and painted. We got a little bit more work to do. Obviously I got a ton of work to do to get a tabletop ready, but like now it's getting to the point I'm like, okay, let me start. Like in a month from now we might do a game with it, so let's figure out, start getting the rules ready and all that jazz. So but thank you so much, chat. I hope you folks had an awesome night. What do you call it? Yeah, thank you, Atlantis. Thank you for hanging out. We had Ian, I think, which I believe I also said your name right, and I believe you said I did. So thank you so much for checking out the channel. Hopefully the Paragon's proxies helped. Cosmic, dude, I hope you're doing well, and I'll definitely, what do you call it, look out for any streams you got going on. Shout out to RK for the suggestion on the sepia ink, because I think that worked out good. And shout out to Squig Herder Sean coming in with the 5 gifted memberships, dressed up as Dr. Evil with his cat, Mr. Bigglesworth. But thank you so much, chat. I hope you folks have an awesome night. I'm sleep deprived, and I'm not going to bed yet. I'm probably going to bed at like 1 or 2 o'clock at night. I might as well just stay up, you know what I mean? And I'm going to get some editing done and watch probably some Hey You video games. Hopefully play Mecha Chameleon with Mr. Burnt Peanut. But alright, chat, we'll see you guys. You have an awesome night, and you take it easy. Later, Frosty, Doc. We'll see you guys on Twitch.